listeners, how are you doing? Welcome to FluentCast, where we explore language, culture, and life. I'm your host, Diego, and today we're diving into a topic that's both timely and important: health. Specifically, we're talking about the new global health threat known as MPOX. Buckle up, because we're about to unravel the secrets behind this global scare. First things first, what exactly is MPOX? Well, according to the World Health Organization, MPOX is a viral zoonotic disease caused by the monkeypox virus. The WHO has classified it as a public health emergency of international concern due to its spread and potential impact. Now, what does it mean when the WHO declares something a public health emergency of international concern? This classification is the highest level of alert that the WHO can issue. It signals that the situation requires immediate international attention and coordinated response efforts. The goal is to prevent the situation from escalating into a more severe global health crisis. We saw a similar situation with the COVID-19 pandemic, which started as a localized outbreak and quickly escalated into a global emergency. However, while COVID-19 was a novel coronavirus, meaning it was new to humans, MPOX is a disease we've known about for decades. This gives us a bit of an advantage because we already have some knowledge and tools to combat it, like vaccines and treatment protocols. MPOX, on the other hand, is less transmissible and generally less severe, but it still poses a significant threat, especially if not properly managed. The declaration of a public health emergency of international concern for MPOX is a proactive measure to contain its spread and ensure that countries take necessary precautions to prevent it from becoming a more significant problem. All right, let's dive into some vocabulary that might be new or tricky. Zoonotic, a disease that animals can pass on to humans. For example, rabies or bird flu are zoonotic diseases. MPOX is another example. And as I continue our talk today, other terms that you will hear me saying are flu-like. When we say symptoms are flu-like, we mean they are similar to those you get with the flu. The flu is a disease caused by the influenza virus. The symptoms of flu are fever, body aches, and tiredness. A sentence where I can use flu-like is COVID-19 sometimes presents flu-like symptoms. Another term is fever. If you have a fever, it means that your body temperature is high, above the ideal temperature of 36 degrees Celsius or 96.8 Fahrenheit. Also, another word that is important for you to understand our conversation is the word blisters. Blisters are tiny raised bumps on the skin, like a bubble on your skin, filled with fluid. Let's refocus on our discussion. Let's talk about the symptoms. MPOX typically begins with flu-like symptoms: fever, headache, muscle aches, followed by a rash that spreads across the body. The rash goes through several stages, starting as flat spots and progressing to blisters that eventually scab over and heal. To prevent MPOX, it's essential to maintain good hygiene. It was thought to spread through sexual contact, but actually it's spread by close contact with someone who has MPOX. Close contact includes skin to skin, such as touching or sex, and can also include being face to face with someone who has MPOX, such as talking or breathing close to one another, which can generate infectious respiratory particles. People who have contact with clothing, bedding, towels, objects, electronics, and other surfaces that have been touched by someone with MPOX are also at risk. Wash your hands regularly, avoid contact with infected individuals, and if available, consider getting vaccinated. And as always, don't lick doorknobs. Common sense, right? It's important to address how hearing about outbreaks like MPOX can affect our mental health. The previous pandemic took a significant toll on our well-being, and news of another virus can trigger anxiety or stress. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to seek support, whether that means talking to a friend, seeing a therapist, or simply taking time for self-care. Let's talk about some steps we can take to protect our mental health in times like these. First, it's crucial to stay informed, but try not to get overwhelmed by the news. Constant exposure to alarming headlines can increase anxiety, so consider setting limits on how much time you spend reading or watching the news. When you do seek information, make sure it's from reliable sources. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation and conspiracy theories out there that can fuel fear and panic. Remember, not everything you read on social media is true, so stick to credible sources like the World Health Organization or trusted news outlets. If you find yourself struggling with anxiety or stress, don't hesitate to reach out for help. Talking to a friend or loved one can be incredibly comforting, and they might be feeling the same way. If your feelings are more intense or persistent, consider seeking help from a mental health professional. Therapists are trained to help you manage these emotions, and sometimes just talking things through with an expert can make a big difference. Self-care is also a powerful tool for maintaining mental health. This could mean practicing mindfulness, engaging in a relaxing hobby, or simply ensuring you get enough rest and exercise. Small daily actions can make a big difference in how we feel. Finally, remember that it's okay to take a break from the constant flow of information. Your mental health is just as important as staying informed. If you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, give yourself permission to step away and focus on something that brings you peace and joy. Let's highlight some key vocabulary I have just used here: anxiety and decompress. Anxiety. You know that nervous feeling when you're waiting for something important. Your heart races, and it's like a tiny squirrel doing gymnastics in your stomach. That's anxiety. Also, I use the term decompress. Life can be a whirlwind, right? Work, bills, existential questions about whether pineapples belong on pizza. It all adds up. Decompressing is like hitting the reset button. Maybe it's a sunset walk, a good book, or dancing to 80s music in your living room. Decompress is when you do something to relax and forget about what stresses you. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to try to look at the positive outcomes that have emerged despite the challenges of MPOX. One of the most significant impacts has been the increased awareness and vigilance around public health. People are more informed about the importance of hygiene practices such as regular hand washing and the use of sanitizers, which can help prevent the spread of not just MPOX, but other infectious diseases as well. Moreover, this outbreak has led to advancements in medical research and a stronger focus on disease prevention. Scientists and healthcare professionals are working tirelessly to understand the virus better and to develop effective treatments and vaccines. This kind of collaborative effort is crucial in improving global health responses for the future. On a community level, we've seen initiatives to provide accurate information or local health campaigns. There's been a collective effort to ensure that everyone stays correctly informed and safe. While it's a challenging situation, these actions demonstrate the resilience and solidarity of communities worldwide. As we conclude today's episode, I encourage you to stay informed and take care of your health. Whether it's practicing good hygiene, keeping up with the latest health information, or taking care of your mental well-being, every small step counts. All right, folks, let's recap some words we explored today. I selected here 8 words that might be relevant and important to incorporate to your vocabulary as English learners. 1. Zoonotic, which is a disease that animals can pass on to humans. 2. Blisters. These are tiny fluid-filled bumps on the skin, similar to bubbles. 3. Public health emergency of international concern. A serious health issue that requires global attention. 4. Lesion, which is an area of abnormal skin, like a sore or blister. 5. Flu-like. This term refers to symptoms that resemble the flu, such as fever and body aches. 6. Decompress, which means to relax after stress. 7. Resilience. The ability to recover from difficulties. It is the capacity to get better and continue going forward after a period of problems. And finally, number 8, solidarity, which is unity and support among people during tough, difficult times. And that's it. We reached the end of this episode for today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on social media or through our website. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, if you're eager to deepen your understanding of English or any other topic, our personalized classes at Fluent English Academy are a fantastic way to learn. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, stay safe and keep learning.